There is a sound in the spirit before there is ever a sign in the natural. And some of you have been listening for a sound. You've been waiting for the door, waiting for the call, waiting for the breakthrough, waiting for the promise that feels like it's been delayed longer than you expected. But I came with an announcement for somebody who has been faithful in the silence. God is about to turn your waiting season into a winning season. Not because you forced it, not because you manipulated it, not because you rushed it, but because you survived it. Waiting is not wasting. Even when it feels like nothing is moving and no progress can be measured. What looks like stillness on the outside is often construction on the inside. Growth does not always announce itself with noise. Sometimes it works in silence, beneath the surface, in ways you cannot immediately see. Just because you cannot trace it does not mean it is not taking place. Just because you cannot feel momentum does not mean you are not advancing. There are seasons where the most powerful development happens away from the spotlight. In those moments, patience is being strengthened, character is being refined, and vision is being clarified. Waiting exposes what rushing would have hidden. It reveals your motives, your fears, your attachments, and your level of trust. It forces you to confront who you are without constant validation or visible rewards. A seed in the ground looks buried, but it is actually planted. The soil may feel dark and heavy, but it is also protective and nourishing. Roots grow before fruit appears. Stability forms before visibility arrives. What feels like inactivity can be the foundation for longevity. If everything happened instantly, depth would never develop. Waiting stretches your capacity. It teaches you discipline when no one is applauding. It builds resilience when outcomes are uncertain. It trains your focus so that when opportunity does arrive, you are prepared to handle it. The delay is shaping your endurance. The silence is sharpening your awareness. The pause is strengthening your faith in what cannot yet be seen. Preparation precedes promotion. Even when the timeline feels unclear and the recognition seems delayed. Elevation is never just about opportunity. It is about readiness. Many desire the platform, but few embrace the process that makes the platform sustainable. Before influence increases, integrity must deepen. Before visibility expands, character must stabilize. What looks like a closed door can actually be a training ground. Promotion without preparation creates pressure that exposes weaknesses. When growth outpaces maturity, success becomes overwhelming instead of empowering. That is why the hidden season matters. In the unseen moments, discipline is formed. In the quiet routines, excellence is practiced. In the small responsibilities, faithfulness is tested. These are the places where habits are shaped and confidence is built from the inside out. Preparation refines your mindset. It teaches you to handle criticism without collapsing and praise, without becoming distracted. It develops emotional intelligence so that you can lead without insecurity. It strengthens your decision making so that when greater responsibility comes, you are not intimidated by it. You learn consistency before you are given influence. Every delay carries lessons that acceleration could never teach. Skills are sharpened in repetition. Wisdom grows through reflection. Patience is cultivated through endurance. The process may feel slow, but it is intentional. What is being built within you is just as important as what is being built around you. When the moment of promotion arrives, it should not shock you. It should confirm the work that has already been happening in private. The opportunity will match the capacity you have developed. The weight of the next level will align with the strength you have gained in obscurity. Delay is not denial, even when the silence feels heavy and the answers seem distant. Time can create the illusion that something has been rejected, but not everything postponed has been refused. Sometimes what feels like a closed door is simply a door that is not ready to open. Timing carries wisdom that emotion cannot always understand. What you interpret as absence may actually be protection. There are moments when you believe you are ready, but perspective is still forming. There are opportunities you think you want, but they require strength you are still developing. Delay allows alignment to take place. It creates space for growth, correction, and clarity. Without it, you might step into rooms that look impressive, but lack stability. The pause gives you time to refine your intentions and strengthen your foundation. When something is denied, it ends. When something is delayed, it waits. There is a difference between being redirected and being rejected. Redirection is often a sign that something better is being arranged. It shifts your focus toward what truly fits your purpose instead of what merely satisfies your impatience. What feels like inconvenience can be intentional design. Delay also exposes your level of trust. It challenges you to believe beyond immediate evidence. It stretches your endurance and deepens your resilience. In the waiting, your character matures and your perspective broadens. You begin to see that every postponed moment carries instruction. Every unanswered request carries refinement. What has been delayed is not lost. It is being prepared. Circumstances are being aligned. Details are being positioned. What is meant for you will not require you to force it, because the right timing brings clarity, confidence, and confirmation. Pressure produces power, even when it feels uncomfortable and overwhelming. Resistance is not always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes it is evidence that something is being strengthened. Muscles grow through tension. Diamonds form under intensity. Character is forged in moments that test your limits. The very weight you wish would disappear may be the tool shaping your resilience. Pressure exposes what is fragile and reveals what is firm. It shows you where your foundation is strong and where it needs reinforcement. Without pressure, weaknesses remain hidden. With pressure, growth becomes unavoidable. You are forced to confront your fears, adjust your mindset, and elevate your standards. What once intimidated you begins to train you. In seasons of ease, potential often remains dormant. Comfort can create complacency, but pressure demands focus. It sharpens your awareness and refines your priorities. You learn to separate distractions from purpose. You discover strength you did not know you possessed. Endurance increases because quitting is no longer an option. Pressure also clarifies your dependence. It shifts your confidence away from temporary support systems and anchors it in something deeper. When external validation fades, internal conviction must rise. When circumstances feel uncertain, your faith must stabilize you. The tension becomes a catalyst for transformation rather than a signal for retreat. What feels heavy today is building capacity for tomorrow. The challenge is stretching your perspective. The obstacles are strengthening your discipline. Each moment of strain is expanding your endurance. Power is not developed in the absence of difficulty. It is cultivated through it. The resistance you face is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared than you were before. Don't quit before the breakthrough, even when exhaustion whispers that you have done enough. The final stretch often feels the heaviest because you are closer than you realize. Fatigue can distort your perspective, making progress seem invisible. But progress is not always loud. Sometimes it is steady, quiet, and unfolding beneath the surface. The temptation to walk away usually intensifies right before momentum shifts. There is a moment when persistence feels unreasonable. You have prayed, worked, believed, and waited. Doubt begins to question whether the effort is worth it. Comparison tries to convince you that others are moving faster. Fear suggests that maybe it is not meant for you. These voices grow louder when you are on the edge of transformation. The pressure increases because the breakthrough is near. Quitting would relieve the discomfort, but it would also cancel the reward attached to your endurance. Growth requires you to stay when leaving seems easier. It requires you to remain focused when distractions attempt to pull you away. Consistency in uncertainty is what separates those who reach the other side from those who settle too soon. Every challenge you have overcome has built resilience. Every obstacle has strengthened your resolve. The discipline you have developed is evidence that you are not the same person who started this journey. Walking away now would ignore the progress already made. The seeds you planted are closer to harvest than you think. Hold your position when emotions fluctuate. Stay committed when results are delayed. The tension you feel is often a signal that something is about to shift. Persistence in the face of resistance is what turns waiting into winning and struggle into strength. Your season is shifting, even if the evidence has not fully appeared. Change rarely announces itself with immediate clarity. It begins subtly, with small adjustments in perspective, renewed energy, and unexpected alignment. What once felt stagnant starts to feel intentional. The heaviness begins to lift, not because everything is perfect, but because something internal has changed. A shift often starts within before it becomes visible around you. You may notice that what used to frustrate you no longer controls you. Conversations feel different. Opportunities feel closer. Confidence feels steadier. These are signs that transition is already in motion. Seasons do not change in a single dramatic moment. They transition gradually. The temperature shifts before the leaves fall. The atmosphere adjusts before the landscape transforms. Growth positions you for change. The lessons you learned in difficulty become tools in elevation. The patience you developed in waiting becomes stability in winning. The discipline you practiced in obscurity becomes excellence in visibility. Nothing you endured was wasted. It was preparation for this movement. Shifts require awareness. If you remain focused on past disappointments, you may miss present opportunities. If you cling to old patterns, you may resist new possibilities. Transition calls for courage to release what is familiar and embrace what is forming. It invites you to step forward with faith instead of hesitation. You are not where you were, even if you are not yet where you want to be. Momentum is building. Alignment is unfolding. Doors are positioning themselves. The same ground that once felt dry is beginning to respond. What felt delayed is beginning to move with intention and clarity. You survived the silence. You endured the pressure. You stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. You trusted when you couldn't trace. This was never a wasted season. It was a forming season. Every delay shaped you. Every challenge strengthened you. Every moment of uncertainty stretched your capacity. You were not being overlooked. You were being developed. Now the shift is here. What you prayed for is aligning with who you've become. What you waited on is meeting the strength you built in private. The doors that didn't open before would have crushed the old version of you, but they will not overwhelm the person you are now. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are ready. Winning isn't just about outcomes. It's about transformation. And you have already won in ways you didn't recognize. You didn't quit. You didn't compromise your growth. You didn't let bitterness take root. That is victory. So walk forward with confidence. Step into this next season without apology. Stop shrinking to match your past. Stop doubting what has already been confirmed in your spirit. Your waiting season built you. Your pressure refined you. Your persistence positioned you. And now what once felt delayed is about to feel deliberate. What once felt hidden is about to become visible. What once felt like waiting is about to look like winning. The season has shifted. Move like you believe it.